Let's talk about a different kind of war. This isn't a battle for land or resources. No, this is a conceptual battle, and it's happening right now. Think of it as a high-stakes game of cosmic chess, where the prize is the most valuable thing in the universe, control over the human body, and through it, the entire planet. So what's the ambition here? Well, one of the master players in this game put it pretty bluntly. Their goal is to turn the entire planet into a programmable antenna. Right away, that sets the stage for a conflict that's, well, it's subtle, it's incredibly advanced technologically, and it's aimed right at the core of who we are. The goal isn't just to influence us, it's to program us. So who exactly are the players in this game? On one side, you have the Darchitect. This is the master of external control, the one who wants to shape us from the outside in. And on the other side, we have the Watcher, the master of internal sovereignty, whose entire strategy is about empowering us from the inside out. We're talking two completely opposite philosophies clashing on one cosmic battlefield. Okay, let's start by breaking down the Darchitect's playbook. And this is not a simple plan, you know? It's a multi-layered gambit, and it's designed to create a programmable planet with every single living thing as a potential node in its network. The first layer of this plan is the external grid. I mean, we all see the towers going up, right? The upgrades to 5G, now 6G, all for smarter cities and faster downloads. But in this game of chess, that infrastructure has a second purpose. It creates what's called a programmable interference field. The idea is that it can use these directional, pulsed energy beams not just to send cat videos to our phones, but to actually sculpt our body's own energy field, our biofield. Now, if you thought that was intense, the second layer is even more insidious. It's the internal hardware. The theory goes that over decades, through the very air we breathe, the water we drink, and other things we're injected with, microscopic particulates have slowly formed a kind of nano-antenna array inside our bodies. This indwelling nanomesh basically turns our own biology into a receiver for the frequencies being broadcast by that external grid. And here's the really clever part. The effect isn't supposed to be obvious. It's subtle. You know, that vague, persistent fatigue you can't shake? That unexplained irritability? That constant brain fog? The Darchitect doesn't need some dramatic collapse. He just needs to nudge the baseline state of the entire population, making us all a little less vital, a little less aware, and a whole lot more suggestible. And for the plan to work, that's all he needs. But wait, what about the people who aren't affected by the nanomesh? That's where the third and, frankly, most advanced layer comes in, Biofield targeting. The idea is that every single one of us has a unique biosignature, almost like an energetic fingerprint. It's based on our heart rhythms, our breathing, our subtle energy. Using what's described as alien-grade technology, the Darchitect can remotely identify, track, and influence a person based on that signature alone, no internal hardware required. So let's just recap the Darchitect's strategy. It's a three-pronged attack. You've got the external grid broadcasting the signals, you've got the internal mesh making our bodies receptive to those signals, and you've got the biofield targeting system that allows for pinpoint, precision influence. It's a total system. It's a complete system designed for control. But, you know, for every move in chess, there's a countermove. The Watcher's response isn't to try and fight the technology head-on. That would be a losing battle. Instead, the strategy is to build something that the technology simply cannot touch, the un-hackable human. The entire program is called From Medication to Meditation, which, I mean, that just says it all, doesn't it? The whole philosophy is about shifting our focus away from external solutions, whether it's chemicals or some kind of energetic interference, and instead developing a conscious internal connection with our own bodies and minds. And just like the Darchitect's attack, the defense is a clear, structured, three-phase process. It makes perfect sense. First, you learn to detect the interference. You got to know what you're up against. Second, you develop and strengthen your own signal. And third, you learn how to actively neutralize any incoming attacks. So what does phase one actually look like? Well, it's all about building your own inner radar. You have practices like baseline sensing, which helps you learn what your authentic energy feels like when nothing is messing with it. Then there's perturbation logging. This is just about noticing when something feels off. You know, that sudden spike of anxiety that just doesn't feel like it's yours. You're learning to tell the difference between me and outside contact. Now, in phase two, you go on the offensive. This is where you really start to build your strength. Things like coherent breathing create this powerful, resilient heart rhythm that's much harder to disrupt. Embodied movement actually reinforces the structure of your biofield. And sound toning, that's using your own voice, creates this incredible internal harmony. You stop being just a receiver and you become a broadcaster. Now, this is a really crucial point. This isn't about building some kind of impenetrable wall around yourself. The goal is to increase your energetic impedance. Basically, you make yourself such a difficult, resilient, and energetically expensive target that the Darchitect system is just incentivized to move on and find someone easier.
Okay, so we understand the two strategies. Now let's put them side by side. This is the tale of the tape, right? This is the blow-by-blow, the core mechanics of the cosmic chess match itself.
And this just lays it all out. Look at this direct, side-by-side comparison. For every single weapon in the Darchitect's arsenal, there is a shield in the Watchers. Those targeted energy beams, they're met with the resilience of coherent breathing. That nanomesh activation, it's countered by field boundary awareness. Even something as subtle as induced intrusive thoughts can be completely diffused by simply recognizing them for what they are. An external pattern, not your true self. So, all of this brings us to the end game, because after all the technology, after all the techniques, the Watcher holds a trump card. It turns out there are certain frequencies that the Darchitect system simply cannot replicate. It can't control them, it can't even understand them. And that raises the ultimate question of this whole conflict, doesn't it? In a battle that's all about signals and frequencies, what is the one broadcast that no machine, no matter how advanced it is, can ever hope to synthesize? The answer lies in something the source material calls the soul's own geometry. And these aren't just simple emotions. They are complex, coherent, energetic states. We're talking about the frequency of true personal integrity, where what you think, what you feel, and what you do are all in alignment. The unique signature of compassion, the deep, unshakable resonance of courage. These things are just beyond the reach of any algorithm. And here it is. This is the final checkmate. These states of being, they don't just act as a shield. They actively interfere with the Darchitect's technology. It's like they introduce static into the system. They scramble the targeting data, creating glitches and weird anomalies that the algorithms they can't handle it. So ultimately, this entire cosmic game is about a fundamental shift in our own awareness. It's about taking the journey from being a passive node in a network, just getting managed and pushed around by a sea of external signals, to becoming an active, sovereign broadcaster, listening to and amplifying the one signal in the entire universe that is uniquely and authentically yours. Which really just leaves us with one final, crucial question to think about. In this world that is just flooded with signals, all of them fighting for your attention, which one are you listening to?